Okay. Can you hear me now? I'm looking at my screen. I think I'm frozen. Ah, there we are. Okay. So, welcome to episode number 9 of the 360 show. Here with the Deuce Dynasty. Here's truly Maniac. Of course, you see it on the screen. Let me make sure this is not going to bleed over into the next screen. So, if you're hearing double, let me know so I can take that off. But if not, we're good. Because I got myself muted down, so. Got myself down there in the little itty bitty corner. Itsy bitsy. Let me see if I can blow myself up here just a teeny bit. You know, I'm a big man on a small screen. You know, hopefully that don't mess anything up. If it does, I'm sorry. What's up? How you guys doing? Man, it has been a crazy season 7. Of course, we got 6 seasons in the college football 25. And that was crazy. But we're in season 7, and season 7's winding down. So we got the playoffs fixing to start. We got championship weekend. So all the guys that are playing for the conference championships are going to be facing off. We got some good matchups. We'll talk about that. We'll look at the first thing we're going to look at is the top 25, but just kind of addressing some stuff. I really think we had a great season. The game has been a little up and down. I think some teams have adjusted better than others. I'm one that hasn't adjusted it quite as well. But started adjusting a little bit. I think the further the game has went, and I think they have made some tweaks that have helped along the way. But hopefully, you know, things continue to work. We haven't had any of the major bugs like we were dealing with last game, so things have been pretty smooth. I think the sliders have been one of the main issues, I think, to start off with, but I think so far right now, I think we're in a good spot as we're kind of winding down in season number 7. So, what's up, Mo? What's up, Ryan, Cincyberg, Zoe? Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining the stream. So, again, like I said, start off with, you know, we're going to talk about the top 25, kind of where the regular season ends, and then we'll look at the playoffs. Always have to do this every time I say playoffs. But I think it's going to be an exciting playoff. Obviously, I'm looking on the outside in at those playoffs. But we're going to have some good matchups, I think. We got some good teams. We got some undefeated teams that are not going to be undefeated no more than likely. Well, I know for one, we're not going to have a undefeated team in the SEC. There is going to be a one-loss team coming out of that game. There's a potential for Bird to get his first loss. He has been rocking it with Notre Dame. Dang it, I should have made him take like Tulsa or something. But, you know, you live and learn, right? So So Birdman is just rocking and rolling with Notre Dame. He is running all over people. He is forcing his will pretty much on everyone, even the CPU. So, but it's been good. Indiana, Kobe, he's done really well. South Carolina with Trey, he's done well. So let's look at the college football playoff bracket numbers, coaches, media. Right now, we're going to look at our college football playoff bracket. We'll save that one for last. We're going to start with media. All right, so the Georgia Bulldogs. Pull my mic over here, that way I can kind of turn around and you can still hear me. But the Georgia Bulldogs have got 54 votes for being the top ranked team in the Deuce Dynasty for the media part. Penn State right now is number 2. Notre Dame received 25 number 1 votes, but they are currently number 3. LSU is ranked number 4, and he was number 5, so he's moved up. Alabama moved down. He is was at 4, now at 5. I don't know how that happens, but it did. The Indiana Hoosiers moved up from 9 to 6. South Carolina is now 7 from 10. Arizona State, Pepper. Old Pepper. What movie was that? The guy was talking about Old Pepper. Old Pepper. Anyway, if you're old like me, then maybe you can remember. If not, you're probably like, I don't even have no clue. But all right, hang on. We're going to go back. I'm getting a phone call. So we're going to go back to the opening screen. I'll be back. All right, back from commercial break. Oh, so I don't have the commercials like Nate has. Those are kind of cool. That was my wife. I had to take the phone call. If I didn't, I'd be in the doghouse. So, hope you guys understand. But Arizona State and Pepper, he is now number 8 in the media poll. Clemson, Big Hurt, number 9. Miami and Zoe. I keep thinking, Zoe, that you're still with USC, but I got to remember Zoe and Mo. So, anyway, that sounds odd, but I get it mixed up. So, Miami, number 10. A great season there, 9-3. Ohio State. Yeah, I didn't realize, Cincy, that you had 2 losses. So, it shows you how busy or unplugged I've been in the recent weeks. So, yeah, you're ranked number 11. Texas, number 12. Was at 14, so I did move up a couple spots. SMU, Afro, Trey's buddy, new guy to the community and to the dynasty. He's taken over SMU, and he's got him on a 9-3 record. So, congrats for that. Oregon at 10-2, number 14. Shadowbad, he's had a great season as well. Oklahoma and James, always get mixed up because these guys have like squatchy and different things, just like his brother Bronco Man. You know, they always got different names, different aliases. So Mo, with the USC, 8-4 record. I know he's had some some growing pains over there with the USC Trojans, but he's ranked number 17, and I'm sure he's had a pretty decent recruiting year as well. And I know we haven't experienced the off season yet. This is going to be our first off season. I'm playing in another league that we already did off season. I will say the transfer portal is going to be not like we're used to in the previous game. So, one, you're going to have to get used to the fact that you will lose players. Last game, we were able to persuade most of your players to stay, but now there's only going to be a percentage. And like when you hit a percentage of your guys to stay, and you got to be very selective. So that take notes here. Maybe this is something we can pass along to our buddies in the league or whatever. But how it works, basically, you need to make sure you're targeting your most important players you want to try to persuade first. Don't just go down the list. Say, for instance, if I got Arch Manning, who's ready to jump ship to Alabama, which in every test, every other league I've been in, he jumps to Alabama. He wants to go to Alabama. Who knows? But it's very likely that I may lose him, and I don't know if it's what that deal is with the game, but I may lose him. So I gotta be prepared for that as well. But target those top guys that you want to salvage first, because once you hit a portion that we have set that you're going to lose, and if you target some of the younger players, maybe they're not as good, you're not going to have a chance to even persuade the older players. So that's just the way the game is fixed up to allow, and I've got it set really small, so I think there's only going to be like 10 to 12 guys that you could possibly lose. But the way the game is set, I mean, that's going to be the thing. You're going to lose guys. It's going to be something that we're all going to have to deal with. And so, but that opens up the portal, the transfer portal, a little bit more relative to real life. And so, in the other league that I was in, I was able to get some great players to replace the ones that I just lost. Maybe there was a little trade-off, maybe as fast as one of the guys that I lost, but you know, the guy that I got at another position was way faster than the guy that I lost at another position. So anyway, it's speed's not as important, I think, this game also, or it's not as heavily important, but I still think it's like one of the top 5 things to have of the player. But you're going to see those things happen, so definitely you want to, and I'll go over this again when we get in the off season. We'll have another show, Lord willing, because you never know these days. But so once we get there, we'll talk about that, but you're going to have to get used to it, and it's going to be it was fun. The other league I was in, it was fun. It was fun to be chasing some great players around the league. And if you got a younger, less experienced team, maybe you can pick up some experienced players from the portal. So it all around, it's fun, and I think the overall will be positive for that. So Michigan Niceonger is at 19. Nebraska and Shocks fan 23, and we got Joker at number 25 in the media poll. The coaches poll, I'm going to go through this a little bit faster. Georgia number 1, Notre Dame number 2, Alabama number 3, Penn State number 4, Nate and LSU's at 5, Indiana Hoosiers 6, 7, South Carolina, Clemson number 8, Arizona State number 9, number 10 is Miami, Ohio State number 11, Texas at number 12, 13 Oregon, 14 SMU, Oklahoma's at 15, USC at 17, Michigan 18, Nebraska 23, and Florida State at 25. And then this is your college football playoff rankings. Georgia number 1, Notre Dame number 2, Penn State number 3, Alabama 4, LSU number 5, Indiana number 6, South Carolina 7, Clemson 8, Arizona State 9, Miami 10, Ohio State 11, Texas 12, Oregon at number 13, SMU 14, Oklahoma 15, USC at 17, Michigan at 18, Nebraska at 21, Florida State at 22, and Texas Tech. Let's see, who is Texas Tech? It's one of the newer guys, so I can kind of see his name, but I can't think of it. But anyway, he's sorry if you're watching the stream or you see this later, and I couldn't remember your name, so forgive me. Texas Tech is at 23, so that's the back end of the college football playoff ranking. We're going to take a look at the awards finalists and the Heisman before we move on to the college football bracket. And I'll try to break down the bracket a little bit, and that'll be kind of the outline of our show for the day. Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame, is the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. Jeremiah Smith, number 2. Makia Lemon, I'm sure that's how you probably pronounce it. Wide receiver is at number 3. Braylon Braxton, Southern Mississippi. Oh, this is not even a user. Interesting. And, of course, bringing up the rear is Nick Harbor, South Carolina junior wide receiver. The one that just totally wrecked everyone last game. Let's see, my computer's doing good. Hopefully it's not frying up. That's the Heisman look there. Awards finalists. Go over most of them. Not going to go through everything. Look at like who's the top 5. Looking for the little user tag there. Love is at number 1. Smith, the Maxwell. This is the Maxwell Award. Limon is at number 3. Harbor at number 5. Hemby, the halfback from Indiana, he is number 6. And Miller, halfback from Alabama, is at number 7. The Walter Camp Award, Love, Smith, Lemon, Hamby. It's just pretty much a repeat of the Maxwell. The Bear Bryant, Coach of the Year. Right now, Bobby Butcher is leading the way with Alabama. That's Mr. Kev. Rudy Rudiger. Notre Dame, Mr. Bird. South Carolina, Trey George. He just like, you know what, use my name. So is Randy. Kobe. Yeah, these guys just... Okay, and then Nate is Bobby Butcher Jr. This is probably some kind of Cajun thing where I'm Boucher. I don't know. I'm from Texas, man. I say it like it looks. We got some. The Davey O'Brien Award, top quarterback, Southern Mississippi. It looks like they've got a gem of a quarterback over there. Ohio. Okay, these are like low hanging quarterbacks. I'm not on low prestige teams. I'm not sure why they're all like number 1. I do know that sometimes CPU that goes Superman mode with the quarterbacks, and so maybe this is kind of um, the overflow of that situation. Let's see, first user, Lenore Sellers. So Marcel Reed, A&M. Oh, the only 2 users in the O'Brien Award. Chuck Bednarik Award. Stephon Thompson, Florida State. Bowen for Notre Dame. Perkins, he's the best defensive player. Stewart for South Carolina, Oregon. Jackson. They also got Butcher in there as well. They got several. Oregon top defense there. Bronco Narjiski. Nagurski. There we go. Nagurski. Florida State, Thompson, Bowen. It's basically rinse repeat on those. Overton. He's probably him and Woodaz is probably the different ones there. Jim Thorpe Award, best defensive back. Johnson from Oregon, Brooks from Texas A&M, Schuler from Notre Dame, Lewis from Texas Tech, and Bolden from Georgia, and also Everett from Georgia. We got a couple guys from Florida State, Alabama. Oh, look, we got a guy representing Texas. Woohoo! What a boy! That's right, Zoe. Mababashe. Doak Walker, Love, Hemby, Miller, Coleman. Coleman's not a user. All right, Weissner's in there. Got a few guys represented in there. Fred Biletnikoff, Smith, Lemon, Harbor. Those are our main users that are vying for that. Lombardi, Stewart, defensive lineman. Yeah. I'm not saying the last name because it's going to sound like Iggy. Mateo is also from Oregon. Overton, Jones Jr., Bain Jr., Bain. Like it. Banks, Moore. A lot of guys represented from the community there. They're in that one. But Boucher, I mean, it doesn't. Butcher. Like, I don't know. That's the way it, you know. What up, Kev? To me, don't make sense. Boucher. I mean, I just, I don't know. Yeah, I noticed he went with Bobby Boucher Jr. So, I guess he did that just to be a little different. So, but he's saying that you're the old man in the league. So, you may have to. I'm sure Nate's older than you are, so you may have to say, "Hey, Nate, all right, you're gonna have to take senior and let me have junior." The Golden Arm. Again, we don't have hardly anybody represented from the community for his quarterbacks. Klubnik for Clemson. I think that just speaks to how difficult it is throwing the ball and getting any kind of passes off of the pass rush at times. Gotta get my bottom readjusted in this chair, man. It's killing me. Stewart, South Carolina. Mateo, again. A lot of these are just kind of like rinse and repeat guys. So a lot of these guys are up for a lot of awards Outland Trophy. All right, the interior lineman. So, Lone from Penn State. Reed Adams, Texas A&M. Foster from Kansas. Who is Kansas? Didn't think there was gonna be. Now, I don't remember. The John Mackey Award, Texas Tech top tight end. This always makes me nervous. Like, go look at their completions, and they got like 600 catches or whatever, and everybody else only has 50. So Texas Tech with the top tight end, John Mackey Award there. Ole Miss. And some of these guys I'm trying to. I guess they never chat in the chat there very much, so I'm like not familiar with them. Delp. He's a top guy from Georgia. Toke. Okay. He don't chat much, so he's like the shadow. Louisville. I know this is Chillicothe. Zoe here. We got some guys in there represented. The Broyles Award. Womack, Alabama. Hubbard, this is assistant coach, man. So Alabama assistant coaches are raking in the awards. Notre Dame is number 2. South Carolina number 3. Indiana's offensive coordinator peeking in there at number 6. Georgia, both their coordinators are basically in there with, I guess, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th or 5th spot there. So LSU offensive coordinator sneaking in there as well. Dick Butkus Award, Florida State, Notre Dame, LSU, Oregon. Got some guys there. For the top linebacker, Remington Award, top center, Toke with his guy. Only one. I know my center stunk it up, so I was not expecting to see him there. Indiana's kicker, the Lou Groza Award. The Ray Guy Award. We don't do no stinking punting here. That's probably the case. Not a whole lot of punting after we pass the 50 and you get in that fourth and 2 zone. Everybody's like, I'm going for it. The heck with punt. The Jet Award. Florida State. Gavin Salchuk. Okay. Best special teams returner. LSU, Baron Brown. I've seen Nate return several kickoffs on that dude. Stewart from Michigan. Bennett Jr. from South Carolina. Alabama's got a guy in there as well. Cole Adams. Benson from Oregon. And Pringle Jr. Yeah. Freshman, too. This guy's going to be somebody to watch, I'm sure. Last but not least, with the Sean Alexander Award, Freshman Player of the Year, Clemson, Davidson, the halfback. Jelani Watkins, the wide receiver from LSU. Jaden Walker from USC. Texas Tech, Mike Huxon, wide receivers. All getting a little love for that Freshman of the Year award. All right, so now, get on my chat, Bird. Every time Bird comes into my chat, I'm usually like Oscar the Grouch at the time. And it's just like, get out of my chat, Bird. Stop talking. No, you're just rubbing it in. I don't know if he is or not, but that's in my mind he is, so. All right. Grr, Bird. It's fixing to be bird season. All right, so let's go look at college football bracket. All right, this is subject to change. You know what? Before we do that, let's go Let's go look at the conference. No. No. Let's go look at the conference matchups. The AAC, nobody that we know of. CPUs. The ACC though, we got Mr. Bird, Mr. Birdie, and his Notre Dame facing off against South Carolina and Trey, and they're going to be playing Friday night. So Friday Night Lights in college football. So that's going to be a good game. Bird, your Notre Dame offense, man. I've watched that. Ain't that the truth, man? Have you seen some of his games? Like, even against the CPU, it's like juke to the left, juke to the right, back juke, side juke, run, juke to the left, juke to the right. Ay, man. I do that, and my guy slows down to a screeching halt, and I get caught. And I don't know. It don't matter if I'm holding the speed burst trigger, I'm holding off the speed burst trigger. He can have 96 acceleration. He's still getting caught from behind, and Bird's just like running away from everybody. He's just like, anyway. So that's why he's the juke man. But it's gonna be a good game. So Big 12 championship, Oregon, the Mighty Ducks of Oregon, and Shiloh facing off against those pesky Devils in Arizona State. Mr. Pepper. Oh, Pepper. He's done a good job. Came back. He wasn't sure if he's going to stay or not because he had some real life issues going on and stuff, and I encouraged him to stay. And look at him. He's in the Big 12 championship. So Pepper's back. The Indiana Hoosiers and Kobe facing off against his buddy, Penn State Lions and Penguins. So that's gonna be a good game. I guess I should have been talking about the records. South Carolina's 11-1, Notre Dame undefeated, Oregon 10-2, Arizona State 10-2, Indiana 11-1, also Penn State 11-1. We don't care about these. We don't care about these stinking conferences right here. The SEC, and just like you said in the chat there, Kev, we got the SEC championship tonight. It's gonna be a good game. Battle of the undefeateds in the SEC. Alabama and Mr. Kev, the rolling Tide. Facing off against the Georgia Bulldogs and Mr. Randy, Bronco Man, a.k.a. Whatever else he goes by. I was trying to think of Beaver. He goes by Beaver in the hockey. I kind of miss hockey. Kind of want to go back into hockey, but oh yeah. No, that's right. Cincy, you were Notre Dame last game. That's right. I don't know. I think it'll be a good game. I don't think he's going to blow you out. But, I mean, he could. You might blow him out too. I mean, I don't know. This game is a little weird sometimes. If you get a couple of breaks and interceptions, fumbles and stuff, and the momentum can just swing against you, and it's kind of tough to battle back. But that is the championship matchups, and that's some good squads, good owners, tough owners. So be interested to see how that plays out. Now we're going to look at the bracket. So, what did I hit? I didn't hit the bracket. That's the reason why I'm not in the playoffs. I can't hit the target. So right now, currently, we have the 12 seed Tulane facing off against LSU in the first round. I find that odd, both Louisiana teams. Currently, we have number 9 Arizona State. The Sun Devils facing off against Clemson and Big Hurt. Tigers. First round, also we have Ohio State facing off against Indiana. So that'd be a rematch if that's the way it falls. It's probably going to change though. Obviously with the championship game happening, there could be some changes happening. So, but this is just current. The Miami Hurricanes would be facing off against South Carolina. I'm really interested to see what happens after all these championship games, how it shakes about. But currently, right now, your number 4 seed is Alabama with a bye week. Number 3 would be Penn State. They're currently set with a bye week. Number 2, Notre Dame. And then Georgia also set with a bye week. But things are going to change, obviously, because one, South Carolina is at 7. They lose to Notre Dame. They could get knocked out of the playoffs. I figure they'll more likely be somewhere along the lines of dropping like down the 10 seed probably. I don't think they'll drop a whole lot because the simple fact that Notre Dame is number 2 currently and they're ranked number 7, so I don't think they'll drop a whole lot. Where things could get interesting is if Indiana defeats Penn State. I have a feeling that they will probably move up into that 3rd spot. Penn State would probably start dropping and be somewhere along the lines of 11 and 12-ish, I believe. That could be important. Now, some of these guys that are on the fringe, LSU, they're locked in. They don't lose it because, one, they're not playing the championship, but they're not going to lose another game, so they're locked in. Arizona State, their game is very important. See, who did I say he was playing? The other team's not currently in here. Oregon, the Ducks. So if Arizona State loses that game, they're knocked out. If they win it, they stay in and they're moving up probably a couple spots. Yeah, you're right. If Oregon wins, they're in, and Arizona State takes a seat out of the playoffs. Clemson. See, Big Hurt. See, who is he facing off? Wish they actually had where you could go back and forth. All right, Clemson is not playing anywhere. So Clemson's another one of those teams I think survives and they don't get knocked out. Because of their spot. They're at 8. They got a little bit of a cushion. And I just don't think they get knocked out of a playoff spot there. Let's see. Ohio State, I think, is another one that doesn't get knocked out. It would have to take some stupid things to happen, I think, for that to happen. And I don't see it. So I think you're locked in. Miami is another one. Let's see. Yeah, you're not playing for any any championships or anything like that. So I truly believe Miami is locked in as well. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of changes to this. I think it really comes down to the fact of if Oregon can beat Arizona State, they'll get in to the playoff. And I think this is just where we're going to see. I mean, it's possible. I think because whoever's behind you, let's see. See, I'm behind you, and I've got 3 losses. I don't think there's Arizona State. Again, I think they're the only one. And probably more than likely, they're probably gonna. I mean, I don't want to jinx Zoe here, but at 9-3, if something happened, we got some adjusting going on and stuff with this. I see them probably kicking Miami down and out, and then you would still maintain that last spot. I just don't see it happening. I mean, it could. I mean, it's a game. Who knows what their coding is? But I don't even think they know. To be, I'm just being totally frank and honest. I don't think they even know all the stuff that's connected and does what it does. But I think it's going to be an interesting thing. Obviously, there's a little bit of suspense to see how it happens. Yeah, see there, Zoe. So, I mean, all your losses came against top 5 teams early on. If all those teams are still within the top 10 to 15, then it's probably going to weigh very heavily in your favor. If you had a couple of those teams that were top 5 when you played and they've dropped way low, then it may affect it. Again, it's probably some kind of algorithm that they have that we don't even know about. They probably and it could. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if anything could happen. But it is EA. It is what it is. I think, really, truly, honestly, I think Tulane should get knocked out. That's just my opinion, but they probably didn't play anybody really, to be honest. Tough. So we'll see. Let's see. Let's take a look. I'm thinking. That's not where I wanted to go. Here. Is Tulane playing for... Yes, they are. USF and the championship. So they win, they're in. USF, they win. Do they go ahead and invite them in? Or is it somebody else sneaks in? Maybe another one of these 10-2 teams. I don't know. They're supposed to. I really am not up to 100% on everything with the new playoff. Maybe I need to look into that more. But the new playoff criteria that the NCAA has set for the college football playoffs. So, and it may be, I knew like the Power 4 conferences were all like the winners got an invite, but I wasn't for sure about like some of the other smaller conference winners. So we'll find out pretty quickly. So we'll see how that goes. But that's a rundown of the college football bracket. Any of you guys playing in the playoffs? I hope to call a couple games. I'm gonna see. Nate will obviously be involved in it. I don't know if my system's capable of really holding up to multiple people streaming with me. Now, I can probably do voice okay, but maybe I can come up with something. Maybe get somebody that's missed the playoffs and want to come in and join me for some commentary on some of these games. Hopefully we can do that. I know here lately I've been kind of busy, and there for a while I wasn't. I got busy, and of course the lack of interest I've kind of had in this game, just for the simple fact I've spent so much time on sliders and different stuff. I kind of just like took a little bit of a deep breath. Madden's out too, so and kind of readjusted myself, and so I'm looking forward to getting into the next season myself already. The off season, we're gonna have an off season stuff laid out. It is a little different. Thank goodness they combined and condensed a lot of the things that we did in the last game. So last game we had like 14 advances or 12 advances or whatever in between off season. I think they basically cut those down to like 6 now. So they've combined certain things together, which is what I asked for. And so, you know, I doubt very seriously they heard me, but somebody with a big enough voice and a loud enough mouth got their attention on that. So that was nice. So hopefully we'll have a quicker off season. We'll be able to jump into the next season. I think you guys are truly going to enjoy the transfer portal. It's going to be different. It's way different than what we experienced last game. It's going to be a lot of moving parts. A lot of these top guys that you see that are in for awards, a lot of them maybe transferring out from these CPU schools, and you'll get an opportunity to, especially if they're in your pipeline, they're in your state. Excuse me. You're gonna have opportunity to get some of these guys, put them on your team, help you out. So don't use up all your scholarships, because you gotta have some scholarships left over to give them. That's another thing too. So if you used all your scholarships and you got all your players signed, when we get the off season, you will not have any opportunity to sign transfer guys. Yeah, some of that stuff I don't understand either. I mean, well, I don't think it shows now. Yeah, I don't think it shows. But yeah, I had a couple guys. Colin Simmons, my top defensive end, shows that he's at risk at transferring because the play style or whatever. And it said how to help it on the thing was to get 7 sacks. Well, I don't know if it's 7 sacks with him or 7 sacks as a team. I know I've got more than 7 sacks as a team, but I only had like 6 with him. So the last game I was playing with him, I was desperately trying to user him to get sacks, and I was getting frustrated because the little peon team I was playing was just locking him up. Every time I was trying to get around the edge, I mean, they were locking him up. And I was like, man, where's this at for my team? So anyway, but I did get a sack and a half with him. So, but then when we advanced, it takes away that option to look at in the recruiting screen to look at how you're currently setting with players. So I don't know. But if I lose him, that's going to be big, and it's going to be probably upsetting for me because I'm also got a couple of guys that are leaving out on the seniors, so they're going to be gone. So if that happens, then I'm going to have to completely rebuild my defensive line in the transfer portal. I don't have a lot of scholarships left personally. I did save a few though, just so they have opportunity to try to sign those guys. So, and I think unless very few teams, I think, sign a complete roster, and they may give you a couple. I don't know. I do know that the transfer portal in the other league that I was in, I had like 10 scholarships left over, and that was all that I could target in the transfer portal. So I don't know. I don't know if you don't have any more, if they'll at least like let you target a couple, but I think it's all tied together. So and that may be also tied into how many people that you lose to through the transfer portal. I think it's trying to help make sure that you have a roster that's got players on it. So I know last game there was a couple times in Birds League that I was Memphis. I won the national championship with Memphis. And basically the next season I couldn't fill the team because I lost everybody in transfer portal because they all went to bigger schools. And nobody wanted to come sign with me. So I had, I think, 40 total players on that team. So I think they've fixed that to where you don't have that issue no more. So that's really going to be good if they did. So, but we'll see. Again, I've only went through one in another franchise or another dynasty that I've been part of. So this is going to be our first one. So, but season 7 is coming down to the end, coming down to the playoffs here, and so we're gonna see who's gonna be season 7 champion here pretty quick. Again, we're giving a little extra time on the conference championship. Bird and Trey, we're needing a little bit extension, so we are in the playoffs. We're 48-hour advance. Because everybody else, we're locked in. We don't have nothing to do. I mean, we're sitting here waiting. Right now, you can manage your staff. If you want to fire somebody, fire them. Get ready to hire somebody. I'm not firing these guys, though. I don't want to fire these guys. But if you need to fire an assistant or whatever, go ahead and do so. And get ready to hire. But for the most part, most of us are just sitting here twiddling our thumbs, and we want to try to keep things moving as quickly as possible. 24 hours would be way too fast. 48 hours, I think, is a good time to keep things rolling, but also give time an opportunity for guys to schedule games. And if there is in a case where guys cannot get a game scheduled within that 48 hours, we'll give a grace period and say if you can get it in by here, we'll allow it, but if not, it's just going to have to be a sim. I mean, we don't want to set like 4 or 5 days trying to get a game put in together, and I don't think we'd ever do that. So it would just be, but this just helps keep things rolling. That's a good question. Let's see. Okay, so the white is highlighting. Oh, I wasn't seeing nothing really like indicating what I was trying to highlight. So I was getting a little nervous. I didn't want to fire my guys. I don't see anything that you can add, maybe because it shows I still got 2 years left, so maybe it only allows when they only have a year left on their contract. So we'll see what that takes place. But yeah, that's a good question. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like I can go in here and just say, like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and give you 5 years or 4 years extra. So I'll go ahead and ready myself up. And guys, help out too. Whenever you finish doing recruiting or signing your coach. My thing's loose here. When you get through, go ahead and ready up. That helps the board members to know that when you're ready to advance. And also the dynasty is set to where when you ready up, if everybody's readied up, it'll advance. So there won't be no questions. But that is about it. So I have plans on coming back again with another episode of the Deuce Dynasty Show, talking about the playoff picture, even do predictions on the playoffs. We'll take a deeper look, and maybe this will give me time to test out the off-season in a test franchise or dynasty, and let you know for sure, like the steps and whatnot. But thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for playing in the Deuce Dynasty. Thanks for enduring all the changes, all the stuff that goes on with these games. I know, like sliders and all that nonsense, these things sometimes changes are hard at times to deal with, and so but appreciate you guys, and looking forward to having a good playoff, and hopefully we can get some games called and call some games to you guys, and it should be fun. So but until next time, hope you have a good one, and stay classy. Who says that? Stay classy. I can't remember. Anyway, but stay classy. All right. Deuces. Peace.